Hi, fifth graders, and welcome to this week's online video lesson. Today we will be focusing on the piece Entry of the Tumblers, and we will be practicing from measure 21 all the way through to the end of measure 39. This video was made for violin students, so we will be practicing the violin part in this video. Before we begin, I wanted to mention that all of the sheet music and handouts that you will need for our online lessons are going to be posted on Google Classroom. So if you ever need a new copy of one of the songs, for instance, Entry of the Tumblers, all you need to do is go to Google Classroom, click on the classwork tab and scroll down to where it says sheet music and handouts, and that is where you're going to find all of our class materials. I hope that helps. Anyways, let's begin. So we will warm up for Entry of the Tumblers by playing a D major scale in half notes. Let's try it. So set your posture, make sure your feet are flat on the ground, your back is tall, get your instrument in position. You want to make sure that your instrument is not too high, not too low, but just right in the middle. Think about not spilling your almond milk, so to speak. Anyways, set your bow really close into the frog so you're prepared to use a full bow. And let's play our D major scale in full bow half notes. 1 and 2 and ready, begin. Great warm-up. Now, before we play the song, I would like to talk to you today a bit about dynamics. So as you can see on the board back here, I've written that dynamics are the volume of music. So a comparison that you could make is like to the stereo in your parents' car. When you turn the volume up, the music gets louder. And when you turn it down, it gets softer. And so dynamics are the same concept, the volume or the louds and softs of the music. And so we have some symbols for the different dynamics that I have here written on the board. You'll see there's a whole spectrum of dynamics from very loud all the way down to very soft. And so basically we have forte, which means loud, and it's always noted under the music as a lowercase italicized letter F. And then piano, which is soft, that's indicated under your notes as a lowercase italicized letter P. And then we have within our spectrum these different versions of forte and piano. So we have two Fs, which means fortissimo, very loud. So even a louder dynamic than loud. And then MF, which is medium loud, mezzo forte. It's not quite as strong as forte, but it's just one notch below. And then the same thing for piano. When you have two lowercase p's under the music, it means pianissimo, very soft. MP is mezzo piano, medium soft. And so it's not quite as soft as piano, but a little bit louder, still not a very strong dynamic. So the way I've written these dynamics on the board are from loudest to softest. And you don't see all of these dynamics in Entry of the Tumblers, but you do see a lot of them. So I think this really helps to see. Now there's one other special dynamic in measure number 34 that I don't have written on the board yet. Under measure 34, you see the abbreviation CRESC. Some of you may already know that this stands for crescendo. Crescendo, it doesn't mean specifically loud or soft, but it means to gradually get louder. So if you look in your sheet music at measure number 33, you see we are at a forte dynamic. So, measure 33, we're already playing pretty loud, but not at our loudest. Then at measure 34 begins a crescendo. So what the composer is asking you to do is to gradually get louder until you reach measure 36, where you have fortissimo, the loudest dynamic. So as you might guess, with these very loud dynamics, like a loud dynamic getting even louder, this is a very exciting part of the song. So the crescendo helps build the excitement until we get to 36, which is like the top of the mountain. So now that we've discussed with what those symbols mean under the notes, it's good for us to talk just a little bit about how you make the dynamics happen. And it's all with the bow. It has to do with the bow. So when you have one of the piano dynamics, for example, mezzo piano, piano, pianissimo, when you have those dynamics, you want to use a lighter bow pressure and a smaller amount of bow. Another thing that is going to help you to achieve the softer dynamics is playing in the upper part of the bow. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but the tip is much lighter than the frog. And so when you play in the upper half of the bow, it's easier to get a lighter sound. Now, you pretty much just do the opposite. When you want to get one of the forte dynamics, fortissimo, forte, or mezzo forte, you're using more bow amount, you're using a bit heavier pressure, and also you're playing a lot in the lower part of the bow, because this is the heavy part where the frog is, and that's where you can get a nice strong sound. So as we're playing through measure 21 to 39, see if you can notice those dynamics and see if you can make those changes using your bow. You can grab your instrument. Let's begin. Starting right at 21, you see right off the bat that we have 2 measures of rest. Let's practice counting those measures of rest together, and then we'll come in right at measure 23, and what do you see under those notes? It's a mezzo piano. So when you set for your first note, set in the upper part of the bow where it's a bit lighter. So I'm going to set my first note, which is F sharp, set in the upper part of the bow. We're starting at measure 29. We're starting at measure 21, and we're ending at measure 39. Ready? Let's prepare. We're going to count our rests. 1, 2, count the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, ready, begin. A little louder. And that's measure 39. How did you do? Were you able to make the changes of the dynamics with your bow? I suggest that you try practicing this song a bit, this section of the song a bit without the video, and then perhaps turning the video on again and trying practicing it with the video again to see if you can hear and make a difference on your instrument with the dynamics. Just a reminder that the assignment this week is to make a video of yourself playing this section of the song, measure 21, all the way until the end of measure 39. Make a video of yourself playing that section and upload it into the assignment on Google Classroom. So, just spend some time practicing it individually and practicing it with the video. And when you feel like it's well practiced enough and that you've polished it up the best you can, then it's time to get the camera rolling and take your video. And for more information on how to upload videos to the assignment, just check out the Google Classroom assignment tab in the Google Classroom. Anyway, students, I hope you're doing well. I hope that everyone's healthy and happy. Have a great week. Have fun practicing, and I'll see you next time.